Relic's Dawn of War 2 and Blizzard's StarCraft 2 represent two of the biggest upcoming titles on the PC platform. Both are highly anticipated sequels, both are set in science fantasy environments, and both represent different directions for the real-time strategy genre. Here at IGN, we thought it'd be a good idea to bring you up to speed on the similarities and differences between the two titles. First, launch plans. While Dawn of War 2 is scheduled to be released near the end of February 2009, no one but Blizzard knows when StarCraft 2 might be ready. What we do know is Blizzard has decided to release StarCraft 2 as 3 separate games, each with a single-player mode focusing on an individual race. The multiplayer mode will include all 3 races, Terran, Zerg, and Protoss, but how each game will be made available remains a mystery. Dawn of War 2 will come out of the gate with 4 races, and based on Relic's history with expansions, we suspect more will be added post-release. We can shed a little more light on each game's fundamental mechanics. With StarCraft 2, you'll get a more traditional real-time strategy game with an emphasis on base building and resource collection by worker units. While this setup is similar to the original, Blizzard is hard at work on a number of new types of units, abilities, and features, as well as tweaks to content returning from the original. It's hard to say anything about unit balance or get into too many gameplay specifics at this point because Blizzard is still fine-tuning its product. Dawn of War 2 builds on Relic's established capture point mechanics you might be familiar with from the first game or Company of Heroes. The focus is not as much on building bases as it is storming the battlefield and capturing nodes that net you resources. In fact, in Dawn of War 2 there will be little to no construction or management, shifting the focus of gameplay almost entirely to battlefield tactics. As far as the single-player campaigns go, the focus here seems to be on persistent elements for both games. In both, you'll play as a race of spacefaring armored humanoids that pilot starships and select missions from branching structures. Look a little deeper, and there are quite a few differences. In a departure from the original, StarCraft 2's story presentation mimics that of a point-and-click adventure game, as you control Terran Jim Raynor around his ship, talk to crew members, and choose new missions. By diving into the various battles, you'll earn points to unlock upgrades, and even single-player specific units such as Firebats and Wraiths. With the sequel, there seems to be an even greater emphasis on storyline, which is great considering the narrative strength of the original, and we're looking forward to seeing how this new mechanic feels. With Dawn of War 2, Relic is bringing in quite a few elements common to role-playing games, which should make for a different type of experience. In between missions, you'll be able to use equipment looted from the battlefield or obtained during side quests to equip and upgrade your squads of Space Marines. The equipment gives units a wealth of different abilities and upgrades, putting the focus more on micromanagement of a small number of units with a wide range of unique skills. Plus, the absence of a base building component will make for a feel very much unlike that of StarCraft 2. To be successful in the online components, naturally you can expect both games to require quick reflexes and an in-depth knowledge of tech trees and unit functionality. The focus with StarCraft seems to be more about larger groups of units with more specific uses, while in Dawn of War 2 you can expect smaller groups of units with a range of special abilities along with hero units that power up during battle like those in Warcraft 3. The method through which you power up troops on the field also seems to differ, as you'll be able to make upgrades directly to Dawn of War 2's units, either in the field or back at the base, whereas in StarCraft 2 the majority of upgrades are performed at a base. Factor in the different types of resource management and overall focus of gameplay, and you're left with, as many hardcore fans already know, 2 very different styles of real-time strategy games. StarCraft 2 seems to skew more toward traditional mechanics in the competitive gamer, while Dawn of War 2 mixes up its formula to bring in more elements of other genres, particularly the Diablo-style action RPG. We here at IGN are very much looking forward to both games, and are hopeful that at least the first part of StarCraft 2 shows up at some point this year. For much more detail on Blizzard and Relic's titles, be sure to head to pc.ign.com.